Welcome everybody back to the Detecting History podcast. Really good to be with you today. And remember, you can watch this on YouTube, or if you're an audio only person, we're on all of the podcast platforms. This week is a solo episode, so again we'll be going through what I've been up to in the last week and bringing you some news about different events, detecting businesses that are being born, and lots of good stuff about telly and all the usual stuff. Next week we have got a very exciting guest or two coming on, yet to be decided, but you won't want to miss next week's episode. It's about an incredible find, but I'm not going to give anything away. You're going to have to tune in next week to hear more about that. So last week on Ellie Miss Detectress episode, I've been talking about the fact I hadn't been out much recently, and my ORX coil is with Regton being looked at. Still with the folks there. Had a lovely call from Aaron the other day. They're taking a look, they're getting to the bottom of the problem, so hopefully I'll be back with my beautiful RX 9-inch high frequency HF coil to go on some digs. But I have managed to get out on 2 digs in the last week. Not 1 but 2 digs, so I'm really excited that I'm back out and about, taking it easy, a couple of hours. I'm having to limit myself to a couple of hours. And it's really interesting how quickly the time passes when you're in the field. Your bones tell you you've been there for quite a while, but in your mind, you just feel like you can carry on and on and on. So yeah, really lovely experience. The first dig, I went out close to where I live with Hailing Detect, and that was with Wayne and the lovely folks there. I really love going on their digs. So friendly. I was one of the last to arrive, so parking was a bit tricky, but the guys told me where to back into, so that was nice on the edge of a field with my little Fiesta. And just speaking to the people to the left and the right of me, everyone's so friendly. And the best thing about Hailing Detect is they have always got a little area where people are cooking the bacon sarnies. You can get your club merch there. They actually have club monthly meetings, I've discovered. So I'll try to get to one of those this year at some point. But then for the ladies, they've also got a proper ladies' toilet there. So really nice. Don't have to go through in my mind where I'm going to have to try and duck into a hedge or anything. So that's really good. And it was good to see everybody. I always make new friends, and I dare myself to be brave and say hello to everybody. So yeah, everybody I see. I didn't find anything too spectacular there. I think I found a button and half a bell object and lots of lead. I believe I counted something like 10 or 11 items. So that was the amount of holes that I dug. I was working with the NOX 800, and a big shout out to Samuel Bleepers on Instagram, as I knew he had a NOX 800, which I'm trying to get to learn and get to know about. And he let me know the settings he uses. So I went about trying to use those settings on the field. And as I was saying to Sam on a message, I thought, oh gosh, it's so noisy. What am I doing? I mustn't have set it up, mustn't have done the noise reduction enough or grounded the machine well enough. And so I was struggling. It was a lot of tones, but I was still finding things, and I was able to pick out which things I wanted to dig. I shouted over to another detectorist, how are you getting on? And they said, it's a really noisy field, isn't it? Really noisy, hard to pick out the tones. And then I thought, okay, it's not me. It's to do with the field. And that often happens. It could be green waste, or it could just be a really just littered with a lot of iron. You don't know what's gone on in that field before. So the fact I was still able to pull out things that were actually diggable things and not just dig a lot of iron, I felt good. I felt like, okay, I am getting to know this machine. And Ellie reminded me actually when I was going out that it would be hard going, because when you haven't been detecting in a while, just the motion of swinging the detector can be quite hard on your arm, I always joke that detectorists have got like one big bicep because of the swinging of the detector. But yeah, I noticed it was heavier than the ORX, the XP, but it wasn't too much heavier, and I was coping with it no problem actually. And I can feel that I'm already toning up and building those muscles back that I might have lost over the last few months. So that was very good. I had a good time. I was a little bit achy, and I did pull my knee a little bit. So another thing that we mentioned last week was the importance of sort of keeping your flexibility and keeping mobile just in general, whether you're a detectorist or not. So I put into my routine a little bit of stretching before I went out the second time, because I had given myself a bit of quadricep tendonitis, and that's where the tendon that sort of attaches your kneecap towards where your quad muscle is gets a little bit angry and inflamed. And I knew when I did it, I dropped to my knees to get my pinpointer out on a signal I just dug out the hole, and I felt that kind of, I was like, oof, and that hurt. So yeah, I was being careful with that for the rest of the week. Strapped it up and did the old rest ice compression elevation, but it was fine. And then I went out for another couple of hours this weekend with the Midweek Searchers. So they're a group run by Mikey and the team. They do a lot sort of in the south and around Hampshire where I am, but other areas too. So we went out on a lovely dig. The first dig was lovely sunny but cold day, and then this dig was a rainy day, but it wasn't as cold. So not loads of wind. As long as there's not loads of wind, I don't mind. Wind is my enemy. So yeah, it was very good. Went out again, met some people, and this time I was there, I think 2.5 hours. I kind of timed it because I had an appointment in the afternoon to leave the dig at 11ish. And there was a little bit of a walk down to the field, and it was muddy, so it was hard going. I wore my wellies, thank goodness. And yeah, really good dig, much quieter field, so I was happy about that. And I could really pick out the tones when I was using the NOX 800. Dug a few bits and pieces, so this time it was like 19 holes, so I'm building myself up. Trying to be sensible, not go too mental at first. And I found a couple of nice livery buttons, bits of lead, and then a bit off a horse bridle as well. So yeah, I could tell it was a very big field, and I was kind of in the middle, more towards the south of the field, shall we say, and I could see in the northeast of the corner, suddenly there was a lot of people over there, and I thought, okay, something's gone over there. And I found a couple of Roman nails as well, so I kind of guessed people might have found a bit of a hot spot, but I was already getting tired and I didn't want to get in the mix of it. People were literally 5 feet apart at one point. So I just carried on with my own game, detecting around a tree and all this kind of stuff, and just enjoying my very slow walk, but having a lovely time. And I saw on the socials afterwards that some people have had some nice finds. So that was good. So big shout out to both those clubs. Really lovely. Clubs get very full. So check them out on Facebook. Maybe they'll have some spaces, maybe not. Maybe you could sort of get on a waiting list. But yeah, go and have a look. Lovely people. So that was fun. And then over the week, I've been getting back into what I'm doing with the podcast and trying to get used to the SEO on the socials so it makes you more findable. That's quite an interesting thing in itself to learn. Working out that YouTube Shorts do really well. If any of you are folks that do your Instagram accounts, mentioned last week I'm on the TikTok as well. So for something like a podcast, it's actually really, really helpful to be on those platforms to try and spread the word about the podcast. Extra country listening now, so 73 countries. So hello to everybody out there. I would love you to get in touch. I'd love to speak to people if you speak English as a second language or English speaking countries. Come on the podcast, tell us what it's like in your country, to detect the laws in your country as well. They're quite interesting how they vary from country to country. So yeah, let me know if you want to get in contact with me. Is detectinghistorypodcast@gmail.com or Detecting History Podcast on all the socials. So telly this week's been much the same actually. I've been catching up with Digging for Britain. Professor Alice Roberts, I should say, getting lost in the lakes. No, not getting lost in lakes. Lost in the lakes, when people have lost their items in the lakes. Been wading through those. A lot of these, actually, I find are fully on the iPlayer, so you don't have to wait week on week. So I have been blasting through those. A bit of a binge watch of some of those. And then also Oak Island is back as well. So I'm going to reach out to, what's his name? I'm going to be cheeky. I'm going to message Gary Drayton, who's the metal detectorist on Oak Island, see if I can try and get him to come on the podcast. 26th of my year of being brave. Had a bit of the old anxiety because of all the health issues. A lot of lovely people have already said, come on and dig with us, come on and dig with us. Normally I'd probably be like, this time last year, I'd be like, oh no, thanks, but no thanks. But I'm starting to say yes to these opportunities. Oak Island's looking good. I won't spoil it for you if you haven't caught up already, but they are finding things. So I recommend you tune in. And then other than that, I haven't seen a lot of extra history TV shows this week, so nothing new to let you know about. But if you've watched something that you seem really interesting, let me know so then I can share it with our community. That would be great. Again, reach out to me. I wanted to let you know about a couple of things coming up. Mark it in your calendar. The bearded bleepers. You would have seen them probably on Instagram and maybe YouTube, the bearded Bleepers. They have got an exhibition coming up soon at the Shere Museum in Surrey. I think that's how you pronounce it, Shere. The Shere Museum, when the museum reopens after Christmas on Valentine's Day, I think it is, they are having their own exhibition there where they're sharing with their community finds, which I think is fantastic. It's a great way of getting people to see what's been going on, what they've been finding and the history in their area. So well done to you guys. And I read about the fact that it's not going to be a static exhibition either. They're going to keep adding to it, changing it. So I'm definitely going to go down there and check that out myself. If you're in the area, do make sure you go down and show your support. And I'm hoping to get Murray and maybe some of the guys on the podcast so we can talk to them about that and how they managed to get that arranged and how it's going as well. So that's one piece of news. And then in terms of the smaller businesses, the people that have got their side hustles in detecting land, shout out for Darren Booth. You might have seen that he's starting to launch his side hustle, the Etching Booth, which is a great play on his name there, where he has a laser machine where he is making various different bits and pieces that he'll be able to offer out to all of us. And so he's done me a lovely finds board that I will have soon, and I'll show you that when it arrives. But yeah, it's amazing just to watch the process of when it's doing its laser goodness, making all sorts of bits and pieces. And he's also making some little tags so that you can put them in your finds cabinet, like I've got mine over here in the background if you're watching, so you can have little tags just to label up some of your finds, because I don't know if anyone's the same as me, but sometimes I'll remember obviously what the item is, but I won't remember the year or something like that. He's going to be doing these little labels. Check it out, give him a follow on Instagram so he can grow his brand. Have a look, and we'll be having Darren on as well in the future, and when he's fully launched with all of his products, just to go through what that experience has been like for him. If you've got anything that you're doing and you want me to share it with the community, reach out to me, let me know. We'll get you on the podcast as well if you want to come on, and we can talk about your journey and whatever it is you're doing. Time for the news this week, and I've been keeping my eye on events out there, and the first thing that crossed my path on the BBC News website was that archaeologists have discovered the largest Roman villa ever found in Wales, which they say has the potential to be Port Talbot's Pompeii. Wow, that's quite the statement. So the project lead is Dr. Alex Langlands, and they said their eyes nearly popped out of their skull when they saw the penetrating radar results. Now, there's a huge structure in Margam Country Park. This is exciting, guys, and this is something that people might be able to get involved in the future. Who knows? Swansea University, Neath Port Talbot Council, and Margam Abbey Church said the discovery offered unparalleled information about Wales's national history. Very exciting. They've obviously done the scans, and they're going to be looking to see if they can bring up any of that through the good months, I'm sure, over the summer. They're probably going to need lots and lots of permits and all that jazz. But if you check out the BBC website, there's a sort of representation on how it might look. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. You might want to look at the university website to see whether they are going to do any kind of excavations over the summer. And sometimes they call out for metal detectorists, or just to get involved as a volunteer archaeologist, I'm sure would be fantastic. Sometimes you can get to go and just, your job is cleaning the finds. I mean, how amazing is that? Go and get involved if you can. I know I will be. Second bit of news, if you are in the UK, you will know that we've been hit recently by a storm. It was quite the storm, wasn't it? My goodness. 100 mile per hour winds, or near to 100 mile per hour winds. Not just gusts, but winds. So that's a lot. And a lot of the beach detectorists have been out afterwards. Quite a lot of structures and beach huts and things that unfortunately gave in to the power of the sea. And of course that's churned up the beaches and all of the stones there. So it's bringing up a lot of fossils, a lot of things that no one has found before, and bringing in stuff from the ocean. So I saw actually the Grim Bleeper, Lucas and Holly. They'd gone out on a beach to have a look around and see what the storm had brought up for them. But yeah, so if you haven't, go and check out your local beach. But this in Cornwall, following this storm, Andy Matthews, again on the BBC website, so go and check it out, found some crucibles, actually. So crucibles for smelting tin and copper. Obviously, tin industry down in Cornwall, right? Near Truro, He'd found the pots or crocks, and they were made sometime during the 1800s, of course. And he found a bunch of them there in really good condition, whole. Apparently, Matthew said he's found more than 40 crucibles over the years. That's obviously a high impact area. If you're a beachcomber or a mudlarker or just anyone interested in history, you should go and check out that location. But yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? The power of the weather, nature providing new finds for everybody. And then finally, we have got the princely burial that has amazed people at the nuclear site there. So I think I mentioned it last week, but there's an excavation being carried out by Oxford Cotswolds Archaeology ahead of building the Sizewell C nuclear power plant near Leiston in Suffolk. So they've been finding an extraordinarily wealth of different finds throughout different periods at this site, and it's on Digging for Britain actually, so you'll see exactly how the site is being managed. It was a really interesting piece actually, where they were going around, there was a lady that was going around and checking out different discoveries at the site. One of the graves that they found is the remains of an Anglo-Saxon pony in there with somebody, fully harnessed horse. It was described as a princely burial. Somebody, really of great stature back then has been buried here, and they're uncovering all of these different remains at the site. The barrow was among 11 Anglo-Saxon burial mounds dating to the 6th and 7th centuries, which means it comes from the same era as the Saxon burials at Sutton Hoo. And this site is just extraordinary. There's over 200 archaeologists working there. They're working across 70 different sites where they're doing some excavating to see what they can find there. I remember when I watched the episode the other day, they found an Iron Age ladder, which is amazing to think of, way down in the ground there where they've been excavating, and a medieval pilgrim's badge as well, which is such fine detail. I just can't get over how people managed to create these things back then. Finally, last bit of news from me, I got myself a nice new hoodie with the Detecting History podcast badge on there, and my name. So if you see me out and about, you'll see that I've got that, and it's on the back, so come and say hello. But yeah, this is not a sponsorship. I paid full penny for this, but the T-shirt studio, really good, very quick service. Only took a few days. I got myself a hat, T-shirt and a hoodie. Reasonably priced as well, really good customer service. As I say, it's not sponsorship, I paid full price, but I know a lot of us need to find places from time to time where we want to print off our hoodies or t-shirts with our logos on for our detectorist names. So yeah, reach out to those guys, they were really good. I'm sure they'd be good for you as well. You remember recently I got contacted by CKG, which were some new folks on the scene in terms of detecting equipment, and they sent me a finds bag, a hand shovel or a pointy shovel or a swordy spade, and also they sent me a pinpointer which used the 9-volt batteries. So they got in contact recently. I've been using them out in the field. Bag fits great. I'm not sure about some of the pockets which zip kind of all the way around, so I feel like I'm a little bit scared that I'm going to leave it unzipped by accident and lose everything out of my bag. So I'm just trying to get used to that. Really quality though, top notch. Get wet at all actually when I was out in the pouring rain the other day, so that was really good. The swordy spade, as we will call it, the hand digger tool, really super sharp, and the sheath, I'm having trouble getting it back into the sheath easily, especially when I'm in a field and it's covered with mud. So I will look into what I'm doing wrong there, or see whether I need to make some adjustments to its little sheath so it gets back in more easily. And also the pinpointer, that's been working really well. I'm going to do a test with my MI6 pinpointer to see if there's any difference at all in terms of the sensitivity and, a distance test almost. So I'll do that in the future at some point. Thanks to them, I've noticed there's a new brand, which is a Polish company, and it's called swagierscoop.com. My pronunciation is just terrible at all times, and also I forget to put my teeth in, so sometimes the words come out of my mouth wrong, but this is spelled SWAGIER, Swagier, or swagierscoop.com. Oh, a bit of my West Country accent came out then, didn't it? So they have got some quality looking bits and pieces, the old beach scoops so that you can sift out the sand and find the finds. They've also got some hand shovels. What do they call hand shovel? They call it a knife shovel. There you go, a swordy spade, as Dawn would say, dig a Dawn. So they look mean, they look really good. They haven't been in contact with me. This is just something that I've noticed in the last week. I've seen these guys appearing all over my socials. So yeah, go and check them out. Regton have got those bits and pieces on their website at the moment as well. So go and have a look. Ask Seb and Marcus and the team what they think about it. And then, yeah, myself, in next week, I need to treat myself to some new digging trousers. Shall I go for the old camouflage combats? Don't know. I'll appear like I'm floating in the field because you won't be able to see my legs. Gonna have a look at that. I'll let you know when I've found some new bits and pieces and tell you about the quality so I can either recommend them or not. I'm going to be honest. So yeah, everybody have a really great week. I look forward to speaking to you throughout the week on the socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and of course all of your Facebook, don't forget Facebook, and all of your podcast platforms. Please give me a follow. Then it'll auto download. That's really good. Give me a review. Thank you everybody for the reviews I've been getting. So many positive bits and pieces saying how you've been enjoying the show. This one's a bit of a ramble because it's a solo show, but we have a couple of really exciting guests coming up. Some of the most requested guests are coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. Have a great week and I'll speak to you soon.